Welcome everybody, I'm Killzone, and I am with this wonderful spiked hair again. Let's see if we can get this light on in here and make it really look ugly. Look at this. Look at that. That's a beautiful spiked hair right there. Looks fucking sexy. Looks fucking delicious. It just looks like, so tasty. Either way, so today I'm at the park because, you know, why not? Rather be here than a fucking enclosed space, to be honest. Let me turn off the car. That way it stops making that fucking noise during the entire video. Sorry if that's been going on for 20-something seconds. Either way. So, today I'm going to talk about an embarrassing moment, or two, or three. You know, it's something along those lines. It's going to be a topic, more or less. So today I'm going to be talking about porn and fucking dick pics. I'll talk about the porn first, then the dick pics, right? And so, when I was younger, right? A wee little lad, you know, when I was a wee little lad, you know, what happened was that I had some friends, right? And, you know, those friends were, very interesting. They were my friend at the time, Marcus, and my friend at the time, Nick, right? So they would come over all the time. They would do, sleepovers or whatever, and they were, you know, nothing out of the ordinary. It's just a sleepover. We'd play video games all throughout the night or whatever, and we'd have fun, you know? It was a fun time. I fucking loved it. It was amazing. And, you know, so one night, Nick and Marcus sleep over at my house, right? And Nick says, hey, and then keep in mind, I'm about, like, maybe in 7th grade at the time. Yeah, 7th or 8th grade at the time. So I was probably about, what is that age? Like 13 or 14? So I was about 13 or 14 during this story. And Nick asked me, hey, do you mind if I use your tablet? And I'm like, oh, of course not, man. Why would I fucking mind that you use my tablet? Here you go, buddy. Go ahead. Go crazy. And so he's using my tablet and whatnot. And I'm talking to my friend Marcus, and we're going in. We're fucking killing bitches on fucking MW3. We're wrecking shop, destroying everything. You know how us guys be doing. We be shrekking y'all fuckers on there. Oh, man, we were so good. We were such a good team. But either way, we would destroy them and whatnot, right? And so my friend Nick says, hey, well, he asked me a question. Hey, what's your top 5 favorite animated characters, right? And I didn't think anything of it. I was like, oh, okay. My top 5 favorite anime characters. I came up with, like, Julie Power of the Power Pack, Katara, Kim Possible, Mary Jane Watson, and Gwen from Ben 10. And I'm not thinking anything of it. And he pulls up, eventually, while we're kicking ass, he pulls up animated porn that he got from a certain website. And back then, I didn't know that there was such thing as porn or animated porn. I know, so crazy that a guy at fucking age 13 or 14 doesn't know that fucking porn exists, especially animated porn. Oh shit, that's so crazy. No, I didn't know what that fucking was. Right? And so I was like, oh, what the fuck? Because he shows me what it is. He's like, hey, come over here. And I look, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I'm so caught off guard. I'm like, I don't remember that happening in the TV show. And they all laugh at me or whatever. And they're like, no. Nick's like, no. This didn't happen in the TV show. This was created by someone. He explains to me the whole concept of animated porn and regular porn or whatever, and he basically tells me that, you know, real porn, they, you know, do that kind of shit for money, and animated porn, they draw it. And I was like, oh, okay, that's kind of cool, I guess. That's really cool. You know, I wasn't like, oh my god, I'm gonna go fucking do that too. I didn't know what the fuck that was back then. I didn't know what the fuck that was. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, that's pretty cool. You get money for that. That's really cool. And so, back then I had this phone called a BlackBerry. It was this little phone that was maybe about this tall, like really small, and it had buttons instead of touchscreen. Right? And it was really slow on the internet. Really fucking slow. And so what I ended up doing was I ended up like thinking, wow, that's really cool. And eventually I found out what website he found those things from. Dun 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 dun, Rule 34. And so I was like, oh, okay, let me go check this stuff out. It's really cool. And I didn't like be like, oh, this is so cool, I gotta go. Ugh. No, I didn't know what that was, like I said, at the time. And so I was like, oh, let me go look at this. And I go look at it, and I'm like, oh, this is so cool. Wow. And so what happened was that I didn't know the concept of this was bad, apparently. I didn't know that you had to delete your search history. I didn't know you weren't supposed to download these kinds of things. Like, I didn't know anything when it came to this shit, right? And so I downloaded like 2 or 3 images, and that's about it. on that BlackBerry, because Lord knows that that BlackBerry did not take much space anyways. But either way, and so I had about 3 of them on my phone. It was really minor stuff, to be honest. But basically, what happened was is that my mom back then would search through my phone like fucking crazy, right? And so one day she goes through my phone and finds those 3 pictures of porn. She doesn't tell me. Instead, what she decides to do is go to my super hardcore saint, putting that in quotations because he loves to think that he's a saint, religious dad, right? Keep in mind, they're not married. But she says that to him and says, this is what your son's been looking at. You should probably talk to him about this, right? And so, eventually, I didn't know about this at the time. However, I found out about it. Now, let me tell you about that part. So, one day, he comes and he picks me up and he takes me to the flea market, right? Now, he's taking me to the flea market, and there's nothing out of the ordinary with that. That was like our tradition, one of them. We would go to the, flea market every weekend or every other weekend, right? And that was kind of like our tradition. So this was nothing out of the ordinary. However, before we went there, he went to Walgreens or somewhere. It was Walgreens or CVS, one of the two. I don't remember. I just know it was one of those. And he goes inside to go get something. Whatever it was, I don't remember. Doesn't really matter. He goes inside, leaves his phone in there because I asked if I could play with it. And, he's like, yeah, sure. Well, then my mom had sent him a text message. And I was like, huh. Alright, what's this about? Because it was talking about me. And so I got kind of curious and I looked at the messages and she sent the pictures that I was looking at. Like, she took a picture of my, no, she didn't take a picture of my phone. She went through my phone, sent them to my dad, and then had the explanation of what was going on through her phone. Very complicated process. So I was looking at it, I'm like, oh shit, this is something bad? Like, I didn't know it was something bad. And so I started freaking out, thinking I'm gonna get in trouble for something I didn't even fully understand. And so my dad comes back in the car, I act like I didn't see anything. And so we start going to the flea market, and he starts talking about this. He starts talking about how it's sort of like a birds and the bees kind of talk in public in front of tons of people. So what do? I try to embarrass him at the same time he's trying to embarrass me. So he's like, hey, I need to talk to you about something. And my heart sank the minute he said that. I got super fucking scared. I was like, oh god. And he's like, hey, so I need to talk to you about something. I'm like, okay. And he's like, I need to tell you something about how boys are. And I'm like, oh, okay. He's like, there will come a time where women are gonna make you extremely happy. And I was like, huh, what do you mean extremely happy? And he's like, they're just gonna make you extremely happy in a very special way. And I'm like, but, and then I started listing off female relatives that have made me, happy. But not like that, but, happy. Because I didn't understand what he was talking about. I didn't know what the fucking erection was. I knew what it was, I just didn't know what the term for it was. And I was like, what do you mean? Ba ba ba, ba 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 ba, make me happy? And he's like, no. This is gonna be like a special kind of happy. And I'm like, what kind of happy? And he's like, well, you see, when you see a certain woman that you like a lot, they're just gonna make you very happy in a special kind of way. And I'm like, what kind of way is that? And he's like, they're gonna make you want to do things. And I'm like, what do you mean? Do you mean like kissing and hugging? And he's like, sort of, yeah, sort of like that. I'm like, oh, okay, but I kiss. And then I started listing off relatives because I didn't know what the fuck he was talking about. I didn't know what the fuck he was, referencing. And I started listing off relatives like, oh, I kiss and hug, blah 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 blah. And he's like, no, this is a special kind of kiss and hug. And I'm like, oh, how do you do that? And he's like, look, do you, okay, you know how you have a penis, right? And I'm like, yeah, I know I have a penis. And he's like, okay, well, women have this effect where they're able to make you very happy, where it may do something to your penis. And I'm like, what are they gonna do to my penis? Keep in mind, this is all public. And he's like, oh, they're gonna make you very happy down there. And I'm like, how do you make someone happy in their penis? And he's like, you see, the way that you know that some person makes you happy down there is that they are going to have your penis grow. And I'm like, whoa! He's like, yeah. And I'm like, my penis can grow from being happy? Whoa! And he's like, he's so dumbfounded this entire time that I'm so, like, ignorant in this matter. And he's like, yeah, they definitely can. I'm like, whoa! And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, so what happens? And he's like, I'm not going to talk to you about them. And I'm like, whoa! And he's like, but listen, that is the work of the devil. I'm like, what? I'm like, he's like, that is the work of the devil. You don't want to get happy with your penis. I'm like, what? Like, everything just got, like, non-joke. I was like, what? Like the devil? The devil has to do with what? And I was like, why does the devil want my penis to be happy? And he's like, he doesn't really want your penis to be happy. He wants your penis to do things. And I'm like, what kind of things? And he's like, see, when your penis gets happy, you start having what's called a lustful nature. And I'm like, oh, what's that? And he's like, basically it's where, you want to kind of, you know, spend time with a woman in a very special way. And I'm like, oh, what's that? And he's like, he's trying so hard to not talk about sex to me because I'm so fucking ignorant back then. But, he's like, basically, the devil wants you to, be really happy in your penis. So much so that you have a special time with someone that you care about so much. And I'm like, that's not so bad. Why is that bad? And he's like, because the devil wants you to do that, and that's not a good thing. And I'm like, that sounds like a wonderful thing. That sounds like a wonderful thing. Why would the devil want something to be so great? And he's like, no, it's a good thing. It is a good thing, but it's a bad thing if it's before marriage. And I'm like, why? Why is that a bad thing? And he's like, because, it's only good after marriage, because this is how people make babies. It's a very special kind of thing. And I'm like, oh, so the devil wants me to have a baby with someone that I really like. What's so bad about that? And he's like, it's very bad, because, you know, like, you're not supposed to have a baby till after marriage. And I was like, wait, does that mean that you had me after marriage? And he's like, we're not talking about that right now. I'm like, wait. Does that mean you had me after marriage? He's like, we're not talking about that right now. We're trying to talk about you and your lustful nature. And I was like, oh, okay. That was one way of him answering that question. And so he starts talking about it and whatever. And I'm like, he starts going on about it. I'm like, what's so wrong about that? Why is it bad that I want to make a baby with my penis? And I'm saying this all this shit loud, and he gets too fed up with it and my ignorance. He's just like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm done. He's like, you know what? We're not gonna talk about this anymore. I'm like, oh, okay. I still don't get why the devil wants my penis to be happy, but it's okay. So that was that. Yeah, it was interesting, to say the least. Then, right, now we're getting on to the interesting topic. This is a more recent one, right? So, recently, right, what happened was about a month ago, right? I went on one of my storage spaces, my online storage spaces, and I realized that I had left some dick pics on there. I have no problem with admitting it because I have nothing to hide. Now, the reason why they were there was because I was sending them to my ex-girlfriend, right? She's now my ex-girlfriend. At the time, she was my girlfriend, but now she's... You get my point. And so, I had sent them to her, right? And so, I was going through my storage space, and I logged in through the computer that we have in our house, and I was going to delete them. However, for one reason or another, I came home and I was dead exhausted. and I end up passing out and just saying, fuck the computer, I'm too tired, fuck it. And I just closed it, went to bed, right? And I didn't delete them. So for an entire month, I've not used that PC. Till this day, I still have not used the PC, right? Well, about a week ago, my sister decides to have some friends over, right? She has one female over and two males, right? Now, I'm gonna give the two males, names so that I don't say their actual name. Also, because I don't know their name, so whatever. One we're gonna name Andrew, and one we're gonna name Mark, right? So, Andrew and Mark come over with one of Rachel's female friends. They're all chilling or whatever, having a, grandiose time or whatever. And basically, they're just having a grandiose time or whatever, and my sister's friend Andrew decides, for whatever reason, don't know what the reason is. Keep in mind, I'm not hanging out with them, because I don't hang out with Rachel's friends most of the time. They're kind of interesting. So I'm just chilling in my room, and during this, apparently what happened was that my sister's friend Andrew was like, oh, I'm gonna go on the PC, for whatever reason, hell if I know. Because I surely don't know why the fuck he went to the PC, but he did. And so he goes into the PC, he goes through the whole login process of, getting the computer on, opening the shit or whatever. And he start connecting to the internet. And when he opens it, the first thing he sees is my dick, right? He's like, oh no, oh, that's so disgusting, oh god, he's covering the whole screen or whatever, and my sister's like, oh, what did you see, what are you talking about, and he's like, nope, that shit's nasty, and she's like, oh, what is it, he's like, you don't want to see, I'm trying to tell you right now, you don't want to see, and she's like, no, it's on our computer, you gotta show me now, and she's like saying that basically, or something along those lines. And he's like, okay, and he signals her to come over there. She comes over, she's like, oh my god! And then she's like, ah! And so she's like, oh my god, and then for some reason her other two friends are like, oh, what is it? And then she's like, no, you don't want to see it. And they're like, what is it? And they come over, they start huddling around the computer. And they're like, oh no, I didn't see it! Ah! And they're like freaking out or whatever, and seeing that shit. And, at this moment in time, when they're doing this freak out, I walk out of my room because I'm going to go do errands, to get me some fucking gel, because, it's been like, half a year since I had fucking gel in my hair. So I was leaving, and I'm walking out as they're having this whole, ah! And I didn't understand at the time what was going on, and they all give me this weird look like, and I'm just like, I'm going to walk out now. And so I walk out, right? I didn't find out about this story. Keep in mind, this happened about a week and a half ago when this whole shit happened. I didn't find out about this till about, 4 or 5 days ago when my sister was on my phone going through her Snapchat because, she logged into her Snapchat on my phone because for some reason her phone was going wrong, and she told me the story, and I was like, oh. I bet those guys were a hell of intimidated by moi. No, I'm joking. But, yeah, it was very interesting. And it's kind of funny, because I don't know how many times my dick pics have been found out by people that I did not want them to find out. Interesting. But, at least, at least I'm well known that I am looking mighty good. No, I'm joking, I'm gonna stop. This is getting too awkward. Either way. But yeah, so definitely some embarrassing moments. Definitely interesting enough. I didn't think that these two could be alone on their own video, so I put them kind of together. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. So with that, guys, when it's wonderful video to close. Wait, no, I did that whole outro wrong. So with that, guys. Oh yeah, so with that, guys, when it's wonderful video to close. Don't forget to like this video if you did. Don't share this wonderful video with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe to Unlockable Stories for more vlog type shit like this. And yeah, so with that, guys, when it's wonderful video to close. I'm KillZomZone, and I'm out for now. Peace.